What's going on, everyone? Today I have sort of a mystery graffiti supply unboxing for you guys, I guess you could call it, from bombingscience.com. They sent me over some graffiti supplies. I don't know what is in this box. I have sort of a general idea, but I'll tell you just how this came about as we get into this and start unboxing it. To make a long story short, me and Bombing Science have worked together on and off for a long time. One of the most prominent series on my channel over the past 10 years has been my reviews of graffiti products. So because of that, I've worked with Bombing Science quite a bit. They contacted me a while back when they were first releasing their line of Dang paint and said, hey, do you want to review our Dang low pressure paint? So I did that review for them. I'll put a link in the corner where the cards are to that if you want to check it out. It's personally one of my favorite videos that I've made out of the 330 or 340 that I've done. And so recently they contacted me and said, hey, we're now releasing a line of high pressure paint. It's the Dang high pressure paint now, and we'd like you to review it. So I said, sure, I'd be more than happy to. Of course I would. So they sent this over. I don't really know what's inside here. Starting with these gloves, the Bombing Science gloves. I actually really like the Bombing Science gloves. I use them for all kinds of stuff. I recently used them to re-shingle a roof. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what's in here, and you can expect to see the review in the next couple weeks as well. If it's out, I will be linking the review of the Dang high pressure paint on screen right now. But if you're watching this quite soon after it's come out, it probably won't be there yet. Okay. So they really hooked me up here. Now, something that Bombing Science did, I'll pull out these two cans first. They actually released the original Dang paint in 400 milliliter cans and 600 ml cans like this. But the 600 ml cans they released were also low pressure, and they have a softer valve. Personally, I really like that, but as you can probably guess, a lot of the more bomber-focused graffiti writers were like, what's the point? Where's the tall cans with the high pressure? Well, this is what it is. High flow Dang paint. They sent over a chrome and a black, of course. That's the classic setup, right? The classic bombing setup. So they sent over these two 600 ml cans to take a look at. Of course, I'll give you a much better look on camera of this stuff. Where should I plop this stuff? I'm actually going to use this as a shelf over here. That's going to be our shelf for now. So something else that they sent in here besides the paint, I'll show you in a bit too, because I'm super excited for this. But they sent me a few of these high pressure, or high flow, they're calling it, Dang paints as well. So I'm assuming they're calling it high flow to pick out the difference between high pressure and high output a little bit. So I'll have to clarify the difference, which I will do in my review. As you guys know, I try and make the most accurate and informative reviews that I possibly can. But they've always had a great line of colors, and the colors themselves, most of them actually are sprayed on the donuts. So you can rest assured that the donuts on the cans will line up fairly precisely with the actual paint inside, barring some sort of production difficulty. So here we have avocado. It's a great color. I tried this out in the low pressure as well, and the only issue was it was a little bit transparent. So we'll see if the high pressure does anything different than that, or the high flow, I guess I should be calling it. We also have a grass green right here. Obviously good colors to be using together. Another color that you could use in combo with that, of course, is their signal yellow. A lot of these colors are very easy to use together, right? So I appreciate that they sent me ones that are that way. Sent a couple great blues. I really like this sort of dull blue. They're calling it midnight blue here, as well as azure blue. Bit of a higher value blue there. So those are the two blues they sent over. Sent over a couple nice reddy pink colors. Cranberry is this one, and then this one is a sort of pink as well. It's raspberry. So you got your cranberry and your raspberry. Before I was interrupted, I was saying. Close enough that you could use them for fades or something like that as well. We'll see what we can do for sure. Then you have a nice coral here. So that's like a, I don't know, peachy color, I guess is the best way to describe that. And the last paints here, they sent a gold as well as a silver. It's not called chrome, it's actually called silver. And when I tried out the silver in the low pressure cans that they have, it was actually one of the shiniest, most beautiful silvers I've ever worked with, to be perfectly honest. I did a whole little chrome piece with it in a video, I'll link that in the corner too, but I'm really excited to see what their silver and gold looks like. We'll certainly be testing that out. And of course, they sent their signature white and black as well. But that is not all they sent. I have a few things that I was told here not to bring out and show you guys too soon because they hadn't been released yet, but since they have been released now, I believe I'm free to show you the other stuff they sent here. That stuff includes the new dang flex mops, as they're calling them. Really glad to get my hands on these. You guys can expect a review very, very soon of these. This is one of my favorite formats, that mops actually come in sort of with this slightly wider body. I really like the way those feel to write with. So it's a normal 10 or 12 mil nib, I would say. Looks like a cotton hair nib. I'll confirm all of this in the actual review, so guys, stick around for those reviews. But they have at least 13 colors that I had counted on their website. This one's just called red. They have this one which is a gold. I'll be real interested to see what their gold actually writes like. Yeah, these smell really nice. And they were very generous and sent me over here a green. It's just called green as well. And then here I have a silver, again just called silver. The mop itself is a little bit dented, not too much spillage of the nib or anything like that. So I'm hoping these mops are the type that sort of take on the shape of your hand when you're writing with them and don't necessarily fill back up with air after you're done writing with them. I really sort of enjoy that almost vacuum seal that some nibs can give a mop, so I'm really hoping that this is that type of situation. I will tell you this, Bombing Science as a sort of partner, when we have worked together, they're really, really great to work with. They never put any terms on the reviews that I do. They have enough confidence in their products that they just sort of say, hey, we'd like you to review this. We have this new product that we think you'd really like. And they basically just leave it there. So the reviews that I do of their products, of the high pressure paint, the low pressure that I've already done, all this stuff, I'm perfectly free to say exactly how I feel about the products in those reviews, and that's what you can expect to continue as well. That's always what I've done, that's always how it's going to be on this channel. My speaking frankly about a lot of products and the honesty I try and inject into my reviews is one of the things that some people say they like about my reviews, so of course that's always one of my #1 priorities. It would be even if people weren't telling me that that's one of the things they really like. So if you are interested in seeing the full review of the high flow dang paint line as well as the dang flex mops here, I'm really excited about these. You know, consider subscribing to the channel. That would give you a higher chance of having those videos recommended on your homepage when they are out, and I'd really appreciate it, of course, as well. If you do want your own tags, throws, and pieces shirt, you can check the first link in the description. That's one of the many shirts that I've designed. I have a little line of shirts that I sell now. For those of you who have picked up a shirt already, I appreciate that so much. I can't tell you how much that helps me out. Again, check out the low pressure dang paint review that I have done already, and I'll put the 600 mil low pressure review on screen as well. You can expect a comparison between the high flow and low output paints. I'm going to even try and structure it so that we see just how much wall a low pressure can cover compared to the dang high flow cans. So I hope to see you quite soon in some of those reviews and on or around the channel. Until then, peace.